Did DeCastro screw up his federal lawsuit featuring his Ironton case in Nevada again? Will a judge allow it to go forward? Lane Myers says that DirectD tried to assassinate him, blames Jim Freedom and Mitch for assault on his windows, says he has the FBI involved. DirectD laughs off accusations. What really happened in Arizona? Plus, Glenn Serio disrupts a job fair. Well, at least he's looking for work, I guess. All this and more on this edition of Auditing Insanity. Hello, and welcome to another combined edition of the Auditing Insanity Newscast. I'm AI Johnny Jones, and I'll be your host for the insanity in Arizona as Lane Myers accused DirectD of sending assassins to his house. We've got both sides of the story for you tonight as you dive into madness. So we're going to ask you to focus on
DeCastro serves Ironton defendants after deadline. Tuesday saw a new filing in Jose DeCastro's attempt to revive his federal lawsuit against the city of Ironton, Ohio, in Nevada as he submitted his service of the defendants in the case with service dated March 4, 2025. The trouble, of course, was that DeCastro apparently misread the court's orders, which were to show proof of service from a previous extension order by March 16, 2025, or show the circumstances that prevented him from meeting the court's previous deadline of October 26, 2024 to show service. DeCastro originally sued the city of Ironton and county of Lawrence, Ohio, along with members of the Ironton police force in April of 2022. After many delays on the part of DeCastro, with the lawsuit dismissed and revived at least once, it was dismissed with prejudice in September of 2023. DeCastro appealed, and while he was awaiting the result of his appeal in March of 2024, DeCastro filed lawsuits containing the same charges and same in Nevada. He sued in both state court and federal court and claimed he was filing on behalf of his customers, some of whom lived in the state of Nevada, giving him a right to sue in the state. Eventually, the appeals court would affirm the outcome of the original lawsuit, and it would be dismissed with prejudice. As the case was dismissed with prejudice, DeCastro would not have normally been able to refile the charges against the same group of defendants. By a preemptive filing of the lawsuits, DeCastro kept the case alive and was in the process of serving the defendants when he was sentenced to jail last year. DeCastro then was jailed by mid-March and would be in jail past the 90-day deadline to submit proof that he had served the defendants. The Nevada version of the Ohio in Nevada lawsuit was set to be dismissed due to lack of service, but DeCastro was given until late October to serve the defendants in the case. DeCastro again did not provide service by the deadline, and the lawsuit lingered until early in 2025. An order was issued in February giving DeCastro until March 16, 2025, to show that he served the defendants during the period of the previous extension by March 16, 2025, or come up with a compelling excuse as to why he could not serve the defendants during the original extension. Instead of showing service, DeCastro produced documentation that he served the defendants on March 4, 2025. It's unclear how the court will deal with DeCastro's filing. Adding an additional 4 months to the previous extension is a stretch at best, but we can only wait and see what the court decides on the issue.
Lane Myers says DirectD sent assassins to attack him. YouTuber and activist Lane Myers went live Monday night after an incident in which he said someone approached the window of his computer room and either threw rocks at it or placed 3 shots at his window, resulting in a police presence at his house. Myers, in a 90-minute original stream and 9+ hour second stream, would eventually settle on the story that Christopher Direct D. Ruff sent his associates Jim Freedom and Mitch to carry out the attack. In Myers' extended story, a gray Hyundai Veloster was reported by his neighbors as it drove up and down the street in front of Myers' house. According to Myers, he was standing in front of his computer desk when someone matching Mitch's description approached his window, and the window shattered. Myers dove for cover under his desk as the person either smashed the window with a rock or shot the window. No bullet holes were observed, and Myers ran out of the house to chase the passenger back to the car. The car took off, at one point making a stop at a stoplight, where Myers said the rear license plate lit up as the car came to a stop. It later apparently got lost on the way out of the area, taking a wrong turn down a one-way street. Also of note, Myers said the car passed his wife, who was out walking their dogs. Police arrived so quickly that Myers' wife was briefly detained as they thought she was the attacker when she returned home. Myers called the sheriff's office, claiming that a deputy from the office lives across the street from his house. Police investigated and, according to Myers, either flew a helicopter over his house or an aircraft while deputies armed with AR-15s patrol the area. At the time of Myers' first video, there was no sign of a police presence. Myers himself started the video outside of his house, and no police cars were observed, nor was there anything observed in the sky. Myers' wife began cleaning up in the background as Myers ranted. He apparently was covered in glass as he fled his computer room and had spread that glass over the carpeting in his hallway as he ran. The YouTuber blamed Christopher Direct D. Ruff for the alleged attack. Starting earlier on Monday, Ruff said on a live stream that it would take an idiot to go to someone's house and perform an attack. He also stated that the FBI and the Apache County Police Department would be performing a pre-dawn raid on Ruff's house on Tuesday. That boast did not come true, as no raid happened. Myers would return to the FBI theme throughout his broadcast, claiming to be in direct contact with the FBI via email. Between the first and the second live stream, about 90 minutes, Myers' story now identified the attacker's vehicle as a gray Hyundai Veloster. He watched a video on Jim Freedom's channel where he and a man named Mitch went on a journey in Freedom's gray Hyundai Veloster. At multiple times during the 9-hour second broadcast, a woman appeared in the background of the video. She was dressed similarly to the image of Mitch that Myers had previously displayed, with her hair styled in the same fashion. Eventually, Jim Freedom appeared in Myers' side chat and denied any involvement in the incident, stating, "I have a breathalyzer in my CR, so it's GPS monitored. Will be easy to bitch slap you legally and show that's not my CAR." We went on to comment, "Mine isn't turbo, don't sound like that," and the GPS monitoring. "You ready to admit it wasn't my CAR? I have not physically been in Tucson for a year." Myers, in the later hours of the second broadcast, would stop mentioning his allegations that Jim Freedom and Mitch carried out the attack. He switched his focus to showing the apparent GPS location of Ruff's house. When asked to post the videos from his home security camera of the event, he refused to do so. Myers claimed that he would not show any video of the event because the suspect was not caught yet, and then said that anyone who doubted his accounts would be suspect number one. No crime scene tape or evidence of a police presence was shown. No bullet holes were shown in the room, though a dent was shown on the edge of a windowsill. Glass was all over Myers' computer desk. No FBI or police raid happened at Ruff's house on Tuesday or Wednesday morning. Myers' initial video brought in $320 in donations to his Give Send Go campaign after Myers asked for $250 to replace his window. That was enough to win Monday, as no other campaigns received donations for the day. His Tuesday extended live stream brought in $100 more to bring his monthly tally to $470 and win the day. Our own ongoing expenses campaign came in second with a $20 donation. No other campaigns received donations.
We need your help.
Today.
Both ReallyCoolSite.org's daily newspaper and our daily newscasts are funded by your continuing donations and what we make from our YouTube AdSense revenue each month. If you'd like to contribute to help us keep the lights on, eating, keeping the cats fed and writing new stories to feature on both the newspaper and newscast each day, we do have a GoFundMe set up at the address on screen right now. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch our videos from beginning to end, like, share, subscribe, and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in.
Glenn Serio disrupts Seattle area job fair. It was a return of form for internet darling Glenn Serio, who released a new video of himself forcing representatives of a Seattle-based job placement service to leave a job fair after Serio confronted them with allegations that their company was racist and overtly biased against him. Serio briefly walked through the Seattle area job fair in the video, lingering at various booths until an opening presented itself in front of the Smart Talent Staffing and Recruiting. Smart Talent Staffing and Recruiting won the Seattle Times Award for Best Staffing Service in 2024. It was founded in September of 2001 and helped to place people with jobs and new opportunities in the aftermath of the 9/11 tragedy. In 20 years, it has established itself as one of the largest job agencies in Washington state. A representative of a job fair approached Serio and asked why he was filming and offered to guide him to any table that he was interested in. The pair were cordial, and Serio complimented the man's pocket square and general outfit. When a man excused himself, Serio went directly to the Smart Talent table. Serio immediately asked one of the two women sitting at the table if Smart Talent would hire anyone with discrimination. The woman answered that the company does not discriminate, and Serio interrupted her, claiming she was a woman named Alex Ray and that she personally discriminated against him. The YouTuber then peppered her with accusatory questions, asking why he hasn't received job offers after registering with their service. He asked if the color of his skin determined his eligibility for jobs and if he had to make a payment to her to be considered for roles. Responding, the woman said that he'd need to be qualified for the jobs that he applied for. Interjecting, Serio asked what sort of skills he'd need for entry-level manufacturing. He then asked why he never got a call back. The woman said that he hasn't been nice, which set off Serio further. Serio followed as the woman got up and left the table and approached organizers of the event. They told her it was being held in a public space and they could do nothing to help her with Serio, telling her to ignore him. The woman, instead, returned to her table and began to pack up. Glenn continued to accuse her of discrimination and said that she would have to answer his questions when he subpoenaed her to appear in court. Now approached by a security guard and the event organizer he spoke to earlier, Serio said that the woman will not help him because he's not African American. He accused the Smart Talent Company in general of falsely stating that he walked off of jobs in his personnel file and reminded everyone that false advertising was a crime. As the representatives of Smart Talent walked off, a security guard told Serio he got what he wanted. Serio then went into a story where he has been trying to get jobs from Smart Talent for 10 years and said that he'll be reporting the company to the Washington State Attorney General for their treatment of him. Serio reiterated that Smart Talent employees were monsters and reminded them that your behavior against one person ruined it for everyone. The YouTuber spent the rest of the job fair filming in silence before ending his live stream as the event came to a close. Direct D responds to attack claims by Myers. Christopher Direct D. Ruff's inevitable response to Lane Myers to allegations that he was behind an attack on Myers' house came Tuesday evening with an unexpected reaction from the YouTuber. Ruff calmly denied the charges put out by Myers, stating that he had nothing to prove as Myers actually showed no evidence of said attack, other than his computer room window was broken and had no actual evidence that Ruff was behind said attack. While viewing the first of Myers' two live streams from Monday night and Tuesday morning, Ruff was quick to point out the alleged signs of drug abuse. Myers' eyes were large, pupils were nearly invisible, and seemed to bulge out of his face. Myers could not stop moving for the first video and did not sit down in the second 8-hour video. More troubling, according to Ruff, who claimed to be a former addict, was the circular thinking displayed by Myers. Myers would repeat his accusations multiple times, each time as if they were new thoughts. In the 8-hour video, Myers repeated himself dozens of times, never moving forward until he could think of something more outrageous to say. Or take his shirt off and dance to Ice, Ice Baby. Ruff turned his attention to the claims Myers made about the police response, including Myers standing outside on a clear night saying that police armed with AR-15 assault rifles were all over his property and there was a helicopter, changed to an airplane in later versions of the story, flying overhead at that moment. Chatters in Ruff's side chat pointed out unconfirmed reports that there were no helicopter flight paths registered with the FAA over Myers' house at the time of the investigation. Ruff then pointed out the obvious. On the clear night, there were no police cars visible in the area around Myers' house, nor were there any signs of a helicopter. He displayed a picture of the supposed bullet damage to Myers' window and asked where the bullet holes were in the room. He also asked where the rock was that the damage was more akin to, as he did not believe the story of a walk by shooting as told by Myers. Ruff questioned the changing story, which seemed to put the blame fully on Ruff in the first live stream, but had morphed to put the blame for the attack on Freedom Jim and Mitch in the second live stream. He repeated the fact that Freedom Jim brought up in Myers' side chat, that Freedom Jim has a breathalyzer installed in it and can be easily tracked to see where Freedom Jim was Monday night. Freedom Jim's car is also a hybrid, which is incapable of making the rocket noises Myers said that he had heard. Myers said he wouldn't pursue this further, as Jim would be making a statement of his own on his YouTube channel. Finally, questions were raised about the timing of police investigation and why Myers would not display any of his evidence proving the incident had happened. Ruff said that the police would not take Myers seriously if he was acting in the manner he did on the live streams. There also was a question of timing. If Myers was attacked a little before 8 p.m. local time and livestreamed by 10 p.m. local time, where did the police go? Attempted murder investigations take time. Police need time to investigate, and they wouldn't let the victim go about life as normal in a room the incident occurred in so quickly. They need to preserve evidence, and there was no evidence presented of a police presence at the house other than a brochure with a case number written on it, leaving the mystery of what really happened at Myers' house murkier at best. Ruff ended the live stream by stating that he would use Arizona's self-defense laws should anyone show up to his property and attack him. Myers put out the GPS coordinates of what he said to be Ruff's property on display for hours on his second live stream. Update: Ruff released the following statement via Twitter on Wednesday morning. Update: after posting about Kat Henricks yesterday, a disability attorney for DeCastro, Arizona, her boyfriend, Lane Myers, went on what appears to be a 12-hour methamphetamine-fueled rant accusing me of some vague crimes. As previously shown, Lane Myers was trying to extort me, blackmail, to keep me from making videos or talking about him with the threat of releasing information about me to the public. During this most recent episode, Lane Myers and his girlfriend Catherine Henricks accepted money on a live stream to post my information and disseminate it publicly. A disability lawyer, Kat Henricks at DeCastro, Arizona, and an anti-government meth-addicted crazy person seems to have filed false reports and accused a whole lot of people of things without a trace of proof. I'm sure there are ethical rules that Kat is in violation of by helping her boyfriend participate in criminal activity. This might well warrant a bar review. And we're back. Tonight on the 8 p.m., not another Jim live stream. We've got the second matchup of the first round of the most annoying auditor competition. Will Glenn Serio be able to topple Jason Gutterman to advance to round 2 to face Chili DeCastro? Tune in tonight and vote. With that, we're out of here. Have a great night all.